Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Harland is saying goodbye to a Harland Hotel as one man plans to restore the building. Plus, 4th of July is right around the corner and firework vendors are ready to meet your demands.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. We are coming up on 5 a.m. on Friday, June 28th. Now let's go on ahead and check in with meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast this morning.
Good morning, Olivia. Good morning, everyone. We've been watching our camera from the top of our building here at WYMT, and the visibility fluctuating with signs that, our visibility is going to drop probably to about a mile or two across portions of eastern and southern Kentucky as we head through the next couple of hours. Reporting stations as low as 5 right now at Harland. And temperature-wise, this is pretty nice. We'll take it. 61 here, 63 over at Manchester, 58 your way at Clintwood, but 70 at Monticello. And yes, signs that the return flow is already starting to come back into play. So after a pleasant evening last evening, bubble of high pressures on top of us, we'll get the sunshine today. That stuff stays to our north because as the return flow evolves, our humidity will soar as we head through today with the risk of a pop-up shower or thunder shower and a forecast high in hazard up to 90. More about the weekend forecast coming up in just a few moments. Olivia?
Yesterday, Governor Beshear announced he is taking a break from his weekly Team Kentucky updates. He normally holds them on Thursdays. A spokesperson said there would not be one this week or next week. They are planned to return on July 11th. According to a study conducted by Cedars-Sinai, black men are twice as likely to develop prostate cancer as white men. In April, Governor Andy Beshear signed into legislation a cancer prevention bill that will eliminate out-of-pocket costs for high-risk men being screened for prostate cancer and other cancer screenings. Kwesi Neblet's father was recently diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer, and he hopes to see more assistance in cancer treatment.
Fully funded treatment is not about just knowing that you have cancer. It's about being able to treat that cancer is the key, and that's where the rubber needs to meet the road.
Neblet has hopes that raising awareness of the health disparity will encourage others to get involved in the conversation and ultimately be the spearhead for change. Getting struck by lightning is not as uncommon as you might think. Meteorologist Ben Beddoes has more about how you can stay safe during storms as part of National Lightning Awareness Week.
Lightning is a pretty common thing we see in the summertime. This, of course, is when most people are spending time outside. Last year, there were 14 deaths in the U.S. from lightning strikes, including one in Kentucky in Bath County. Alex Vorst, a meteorologist from the National Weather Service in Jackson, says you should always have a plan in place.
Biggest thing is to have a plan in place. Even if thunderstorms are not in the forecast, you still want to have a plan in place. Pop-up thunderstorms do happen. Even on the hot, humid summer days, you do get a chance for thunderstorms. So have a plan in place before you go out and hike, before you play golf, go to the beach, go to the lake.
Vorst says finding some sort of indoor shelter or your vehicle can be good places to go once you hear thunder. But what if I don't have that option?
Make yourself the smallest object around. Potentially maybe laying on the ground or laying in a low-lying area. That's not flooded, of course, but just making yourself as little as possible is the best way to do that, because lightning is going to find the tallest object. That's why trees, power lines, power poles are the most common things that do get hit by lightning.
It's also important to remember that even when the main storm has passed, you should wait before resuming outdoor activities.
You would want to wait about a half hour after the last rumble of thunder. Believe it or not, a lot of the lightning fatalities and injuries do actually happen once the main threat of thunderstorms has passed.
From Jackson, I'm Ben Beddoes, WKYT.
Officials also say lightning can strike outside of a thunderstorm, so it does not have to be raining for lightning to strike. The CEO of the Foundation for a Healthy Kentucky is retiring. Ben Chandler will stay with the organization until the end of the year. The board of directors appointed COO Allison Adams as the next president and CEO. Chandler has served in the role since 2016. A historic building in downtown Harlan that dates back to 1922 is no longer going to be sitting empty. An investor and creative developer, Gil Holland, is working to bring it back to life as a boutique hotel. The building, one of the oldest and tallest in downtown Harlan, was once known as the Harland Hotel, and Holland says he hopes to preserve the building's history and bring a hotel back to the downtown area.
I would look for places to stay in Harlan County, and there is no hotel downtown. I feel like it's part of Harlan's historic street front. We need to save all these facades, at least, if we can't save the entire buildings.
Holland says they still are in the early development stages, with roughly $5 million still needed to be raised for the project. However, if all goes as planned, he expects the Harland Hotel to be ready in 2027. Fireworks sellers across the state are gearing up for the 4th of July. The Kentucky manager of Phantom Fireworks has 14 tents set up in 13 different cities. He has to know each one of those cities' firework ordinances because they are all different. Rick Walls helped his tent operators in Winchester set up for yesterday's opening. He says some cities are easier to get permits from than others.
Got one in particular that it takes about 10 minutes to permit the city, get everything done. Then I've got other cities where it is a multiple day and sometimes multiple week process.
Tent operators can only sell to customers who are 18 years old and up, and those firework tents must have some sort of fire extinguisher nearby. And thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Still to come, blood donations for all. That's what one man did to make blood donations inclusive.
Waking up to some areas of fog on a Friday morning, but hey, it's Friday. The weekend is in sight, and can we keep this lack of cloud cover going? We'll let you know. The First Alert 7-day forecast is coming up as your WYMT Mountain Morning News continues.